Now, I know what you're about to say, who let this man into the kitchen, but trust me when I tell you this deck actually goes kind of crazy. If you clicked on this video, you already know this is a Leopardmon deck profile, so of course focus around Leopardmon, as well as Leopardmon Leopard mode. Now the reason I'm coping this deck is, if you're watching this, Pedro, shout out to him, because my buddy Pedro played me a little while ago and he cooked the shit out of me with this deck. There'll be gameplay at some point. I don't know if it'll be before or after this, but just look forward to that if it's not already up. But this deck is centered around this Leopardmon, right? So BT13 Leopardmon, like, if you guys don't know, this card actually does something aside from just being like in Royal Knights. It basically lets you spam the board. Now, ignore the fact that this deck just loses to a singular Death X, but no one's playing that. It's not real, alright? Don't worry about that. But as far as like a locals deck or something, this deck's like really fun. So your goal, right, is basically you're free playing out a bunch of tamers. You've got stuff like Tyrannomon being able to play a 3-cost tamer, and you've got Pangemon as well, being able to just play any green or blue with 4 cost or lower. So that's basically all your tamer lineups. And not only that, but Pangemon also gives a rush to any Digimon you play via an effect. Now, why Leopardmon is so good is because when Digivolving / main, so you basically get this effect every single turn, you just get to play any green Digimon in your deck from your hand for a -4 play cost. So all of your champions or lower, you're playing for 0. And then when you play another Digimon, you get a global. All of your Digimon that are green and or Royal Knights gain blocker for the turn. So that basically encompasses your entire deck. So your goal is to just build into this guy and then spam the board with a bunch of blockers. And then you finish off your games with Leopardmon Leopard mode, so 3 copies of this card. So what this card does is it evolves 1 from Leopardmon. So obviously you're playing 4 with Leopardmon. It's not going to be too terribly hard to do. When Digivolving, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon until the end of your opponent's turn. One of your opponent's Digimon doesn't unsuspend. So that's it's more of like a Quartzmon effect. So it's not just the unsuspend phase; it just doesn't unsuspend period, which is a really cool effect. Then, when attacking, by suspending one of your other Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. So that's a not once per turn when attacking effect. So if you've got 4 other Digimon on field, you basically already have lethal. Or I guess 5 other Digimon, you need the 6th swing, being able to clear your opponent's security stack with this card alone. And the reason why you want to do that as opposed to just swinging with all your other bodies is, number one, because you play them out via effect, so sometimes they won't be able to attack. But of course, Pangemon can kind of get around that because he gives Digimon Rush. But then also because at end of turn, trash the top card of this Digimon and unsuspend all of your Digimon. So even if you don't kill your opponent with the Leopard mode, you go Leopard mode, swing a couple times, freeze something with the suspend effect, and then trash the Leopardmon, revert back into regular Leopardmon. All your dudes are blocker, and then you can use the regular Leopardmon once again on the following turn. So that's kind of the goal of this deck. Now, those are the level 6s. I kind of start, I usually don't start with the Megas first, but anyways, those are the level 6s. For all the support cards, I think the only... there's a lot of flexibility in this deck. So for the rookies, I'm playing Angoramon, 3 copies of Angoramon. This is when you play Green Tamer, draw 1. And then you've also got Tannemon, which is when you play Green Tamer, draw 1. So when you, like, honestly, a lot of times you'll just go, like, turn 1, like, level 3, and, like, pass turn, or like play another rookie or play a tamer, and then turn 2 play a tamer, and then you'll draw 2 off of these inherited. Start of turn from the Palmon also lets you draw 1. I like this as a more of something to play off of Leopardmon, because you can play it. It's a blocker. If you don't block with it, you get an extra draw the next turn. That's the same logic as far as the Vegiemon as well, because you can just play this from your hand for free. Start of your turn, gain an extra memory. It comes up starting at 4 is pretty important, because Leopardmon costs 3, and then Leopard mode costs 1, and sometimes you need the extra memory to just be able to go for game and stuff. So those cards I think are really good. The searcher for the deck is going to be Salamon, which reveals top 3. Add 1 Digimon with Beast, Animal, or Sovereign. I think most of the deck, all the rookies and most of the champions, I guess just the Mikemon and stuff, a lot of the deck is going to be searchable off of this. It also searches the Leopardmons. For some reason, it searches Royal Knights. I don't know why, but there you go. And then also has a pretty strong inherited, being able to boost your Leopard mode to plus 2k, because 12k with like no protection or anything is honestly kind of small by this point in the game. So you generally need some DP boosting inheriteds, which is why I like both this card and the Mikemon, because she also gives plus 2k. So that can be a 16,000 Leopardmon. Swinging over burst modes and stuff is pretty relevant. So for the other champions, just one hybrid because this deck is playing a lot of Green Tamers. One copy of Rapidmon as well because you are playing Terrier, so you can evolve this for 3 a lot of times. You could honestly maybe like cut a Palmon, play Terriermon at like 3 because playing a Green Tamer again, similar to Angoramon, you just play Green Tamer. You get to gain a memory, you get to draw a card. It's really cool. Like you get to have a lot of different. You get a lot of different resources just off of playing your Tamers, which I really, really like. And then the other level 4 that's really strong is going to be Tyrannomon, which I like that this is an on-play when Digivolving, because sometimes if you break or something, or maybe if you played off a Leopardmon, you'll pay a -4 cost, so play this for 1, and then you get a free Tamer out. So it can be really cool. But this just plays a 3-cost Tamer less without paying the cost, and then gives you plus 2,000. Once again, the Inherited does come up quite a bit when going for games. So Tyrannomon really strong. Now, honestly, the only problem with this deck is really that like there's not that many good Green Tamers in the game. So currently, I'm playing 4 copies of Mimi and 4 copies of the BT11 Taiga. BT11 Taiga says all of your Digimon get plus 1k, which is pretty sick. Not only boosting your Leopard modes, but just boosting your Digimon in general. It stacks, so if you got like 2 of these, that's just plus 2k to everything for no reason. That's pretty sick. And then when one of your Green Digimon would Digivolve into a level 5 or higher, by suspending this, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. Now that comes up a lot when you're going into, again, Leopard mode. You can evolve this for 0 into your Quartzmon, which we'll talk about Quartzmon in a little bit. But so Taiga is honestly really, really strong. Mimi is cool, but being a 4 cost means she is dodged by Tyrannomon. Now you still do get the free play from Pangemon, but any other like 3-cost Green Tamers you could play are basically limited to like Willis, which like, alright, this might be like decent, like being able to just get effectively another breeding, but I think because you have Mimi, you don't really need it. JP you're never playing, old Yoshi you're never playing. This Taiga, I guess you could do this, but like you also you're only playing the 4 copies of Tyrannomon, so I don't really think that's worth it. A 2-cost Izzy, like, again, this just gets you a free card every turn. That might be worth it. But realistically, I genuinely think, like, Taiga and Mimi are, like, the only, like, really good generic ones. I was actually thinking of playing like Zenjiro and like Ballistamon just as like a blocker engine. Like you can just like, okay, on evolve Tyrannomon plays Zenjiro free play Ballista, and then Zenjiro gain a memory. Like I haven't cooked that up yet, I haven't tested it, but like I said, this deck is really flexible. As long as you're getting to Leopardmon, it like doesn't matter. So maybe you guys can test that out and let me know how it goes if you're brave enough to try it. That might be some sauce. And then also there is not a tamer, but there is this Agumon that searches any tamers from your deck and also gives plus 2k. This can also be a pretty solid searcher, but I think generally you're missing your Digimon when you're playing this deck. But maybe you could swap out like a Palmon and like a couple Terriers, or maybe just play like 14 rookies, like throw in a couple extra copies of these and like cut like, I'm playing 3 memory boosts, so I personally like him. You could pop down to like 2 memory boosts, maybe 3 Mimi, put in 2 copies of Agumon or something. That's just my suggestion, but I like the extra memory boost. I like having 8 tamers. So anyways, so that's the level 4s. 5s, Pangemon, pretty self-explanatory. Just free play Green Tamers. Giving something rush is pretty sick. Whatever, I don't know how you say this guy's name. Mihiramon, whatever. The Diva, the on-play, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then it freezes it. Of course, it has to have 7,000 or less. But this card's really good to play off of Leopardmon for free, because if you're going like Leopardmon, when Digivolving, you can like play this out for 3 because -4 cost, freeze something, or if you go Leopard mode as well, that's 2 freezes, so that can be really good. And then also its Inherited is strong because it again lets you go into Leopard mode for 0 effectively, being able to Digivolve for 1, or even Quartzmon for -1 as well is pretty strong. And then Skull Scorpiomon, this is just a vanilla like 2 cost, like this could literally be anything. I don't really think this like vanillas are probably not it, but like if you look at like all the different green level 5s, you're basically locked into like, you can play like the Digizorbers are like good generic ones, so maybe you play like 1 Blossom, one Argo, but I don't think you really start spamming the board until you get to Leopardmon, so I don't really see the value in playing Digizorbers. Also, I'm absolutely forgetting Hidden Potential Discovered. There's no reason not to play that card. I actually, like, literally just forgot that. So you should definitely just play 1 copy of this. Maybe we can cut like a memory boost down to 2. There we go. Definitely, absolutely play this in every green deck until the end of time. There's no reason not to. But yeah, Skull Scorpiumon, this can literally be like whatever. Like if we search up green ultimates, like you could play like the Digizorbers. You could play like other 2-cost level 5, so maybe you could play like Okuamons. If you want to like meme harder, you could play like the green gacha build, so you could play like Jagamons and stuff. But realistically, this could be like whatever. If you guys have suggestions for what that could be, I was also thinking of the starter deck Lilymon, because this lets you like search for your leopards, and you can evolve leopard to pass turn, and then just like play out a dude for free. So yeah, there's a lot of flexibility. I don't really know what this slot should be. You guys let me know. But anyways, so that's it for the 5. 6s we talked about. Quartzmon, this card is just crazy. Now, the cool thing about this deck is since you're actually evolving it for 6 instead of like evolving it for a superior mode, a lot of the times, once you get all your effects, like you've reduced your cost with Taiga, you've gotten the Mimi effects, you can just like evolve Quartzmon for like 6 or 5. If you've got the Miriamon, you can do it for 5. So maybe you could just play more copies of this, I don't know. And then gaining 1 for each each pair of suspended cards is pretty good. And Quartzmon is just a win condition. Like realistically, like if your opponent can't deal with this card immediately, there is so much value you can get off of this card, just being able to because once you spam the board and you've got like 20 things on field and you just swing like trash 2-3 security, it can be a pretty good late game finisher, guys. So that's gonna do it for Digimon, and then of course green memory boost, tamers we talked about. I think these are really the only good generic green tamers. Like the other ones I probably just wouldn't even play. Like I think 8 is probably fine. So that's it for the tamer lineups, and then of course options. There are some other like green options you could play. There's like a Leopardmon option. I forgot what it does. I think it's BT13, but I don't really know if there's any, like, yeah, Vulcan Crusher. So choose one of your Digimon, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon with DP less than or equal to that, and then by returning the top card of one of your Leopard modes to hand, unsuspend all your Digimon. So that can be pretty cool, just being like attacking with Leopardmon, bounce it back to your hand, bounce something else, and then you unsuspend everything, basically get the Leopardmon effect anyway. So this could be good as like a 1 or 2 of. I also liked the Buster, I think it's Buster Dive, yeah. This card giving something, you can play this for 3 a lot of times, but giving something plus 5k rush and effectively blitz is pretty sick. Like, this card is pretty cool. I don't think it's like good, but it's pretty funny. Like, this card's pretty sick. So maybe you could play like a couple of copies of this, but I don't know. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this list. Like I said, I've tested a decent amount, and it can be pretty solid into some of the meta decks. Like, honestly, the amount of value you get off of your plays is pretty crazy. The thing is, it's just very susceptible to board removal. It loses to Shine, it loses to Black War Gray, it loses to any deck that's playing Death X, so it's very fragile as well. But really enjoyable. So if you guys want something different that's not Bloom Lord, go ahead and give this a try. I encourage you. It's really fun. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.